Oh my god, it's so hot. So, did the algorithm make you who you are, or did you make the algorithm what it is? Oh, hi, I'm Maya. I make videos on nostalgia, online culture, and pop culture. But seriously, this is the ultimate chicken or egg question of the digital age. After all, why did you click on this video? What do we have in common, you and I? Were you watching a video about doing a digital detox? Do we watch the same YouTubers? Are we nostalgic for the same things? Do you ever ask yourself why you consume the content that you do? Because if you're watching this, chances are the algorithm thinks this topic is part of your identity. But ultimately, who really made that decision? You or your feed?
Guys.
Back in the days, your feed was simple, reverse chronological. You followed someone, you saw their recent posts. But at one point, everything changed. Algorithms came in and said, we can make your experience better. I hope I'm not gonna butcher his name, but as Arvind Narayanan explains, users with similar interest as learned by the algorithm are depicted closer to each other. Platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram don't just show us content anymore. They choose what we see. Based on what? Based on everything we've done before. And that's interesting because when exactly does this before start? How do I tell the algorithm that when I checked flight prices to Greece, it wasn't for me? So no need to show me that for the next 3 weeks. And that I didn't move on from Attack on Titan, but I also don't want it on my feed 24/7. I know it's not the algorithm's fault, it's just trained to treat every search as a signal. But isn't that the point? One random click can end up shaping the entire vibe of your feed. Let's start with the basics. Recommendation system run on feedback loops. You like a video, the algorithm notes that. You watch something all the way through, that's gold. So if you engage with makeup videos, soon you're on makeup talk. Like one finance video, welcome to money talk. Book talk even reshaped the publishing industry with over 25 billion views. A 2024 study by Rosner and al. Found that up to 50% of what you see on TikTok is shaped by what the algorithm thinks you like, not just what you follow. That's not personalization, that's kind of prediction, right? And these feedback loops don't just show us what we want, they magnify it. Filter bubbles, identity shaping, echo chambers. We're talking about this kind of stuff. Everything repackaged into cute aesthetics that you can diligently buy. Best way to shape us into good consumers without our knowledge. Hardman and Choi put it this way: interaction with the feed helps determine the beliefs, interests, and rules a person internalizes. So if your sense of self, your aesthetic, your routines, even your career dreams is nudged daily by invisible system, how do you even know where you end and the algorithm begins? Algorithms have helped me a lot. I used to go on forums to discover new manga. I followed fansubs teams to watch whatever they decided to subtitle. I watched animes my brothers downloaded, even if I was too young to watch most of them, but I didn't know how to download my own, so basically I watched and read whatever was available and decided what I liked. But that can be limiting, right? See, I can't always discover new forums and get myself new siblings to suggest stuff. So algorithms aren't bad in themselves. It's just that they narrow down your perspective at one point. That's where you might say,
Maya, what's the problem with that? Sure, algorithms give me a push, and honestly, I don't even want to learn about stuff outside of what I already like. I'm building my own identity at the end of the day, right? Right?
well, that's what I thought. But a few weeks ago, I was sitting next to my friend during one of our very boring classes. She was scrolling through her Instagram For You page and had, no joke, like 6 posts in a row that were also recommended to me. Yeah, we have a lot in common, but we also have a lot not in common. You would think our algorithms would overlap a little, but not that much. Especially since I follow maybe 20 accounts and use Instagram once a week, while she's way more active than me. So much for individuality. Even if we start from different points, the algorithm pushes us towards what's proven to keep people hooked, not what's most us. The algorithm doesn't just reflect who we are, it changes who we become. Your hobbies, your fashion, your music taste, all of it is shaped by what your feed serves you. What happens when we stop noticing that shift? When we let the feed decide what we wear, who we listen to, even what we care about. My question is like, when do we stop making ourselves and start being made? Sometimes people don't even socialize outside of social media anymore. That's their entire world. And it was true especially in 2020 when the whole world didn't really have a choice. What's trendy in Seoul City today might go viral in Paris tomorrow. TikTok is designed to export culture. And I'm not saying that's bad. But what gets popular still depends on us, our clicks, our contacts. Son explains that TikTok promotes global cultural diffusion, but user data and local culture shape what trends. Try creating a brand new Instagram account and see what shows up. Chances are, your For You page will be full of violent or sexual content. When the algorithm doesn't know who you are, it defaults to extremes. That's because the algorithm is in what computer scientists call an exploration phase. When it doesn't have data on you yet, it throws out content that has globally high engagement. Stuff that statistically gets people to stop scrolling. This is known as the lowest common denominator strategy. Shock sex violence. It's not saying you want this, it's just gambling what someone like you probably will. Researchers like Arvind Narayanan explain this as part of the exploration-exploitation trade-off in recommendation systems. The platform needs to explore your preferences at first, but once it finds something that works, it starts exploiting that pattern to keep you engaged. So yeah, it's not personal, but it is telling. When in doubt, the algorithm bets on what gets the biggest reaction, not what's meaningful or safe. And when that first hit is all you see for a while, it starts to shape you whether you realize it or not. I don't use Instagram much, but when I do, I keep up with K-pop through two of my friends that share a lot of content on that. So of course my For You page is full of K-pop, but it's also full of K-pop's diet culture, ultra-thin idols, and disturbing fan cams. If I were 16, I would have 100% developed an eating disorder with this kind of recommendation loop. Knowing that I did love K-pop at the time, and we did have this sort of content going around the internet, but not as much as having it on your face so much, like when you're fed this type of content all the time on your For You page. The feed learns from us, but it also teaches us. And that back and forth shapes what we desire, what we dream of, what we dismiss. Then how can we still talk about authenticity without also talking about the algorithm that constructed our taste? So let's circle back. Does the algorithm make us, or do we make the algorithm? The answer is yes, for the both of them. It reflects our clicks, our biases, our curiosity, but it also creates the reality we live in. It expands what we think we want and then locks us in. The real danger isn't that the algorithm controls us. It's that we don't realize we're training it every day to define what we see, love, and become. We think we're building ourselves through our choices, but what if we're just reinforcing a version of ourselves that the algorithm quietly assembled for us? So next time you scroll, ask yourself, is this you talking, you clicking, or is it just the feed echoing back the version of you it wants you to keep around? Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If you like this video, I would love to interact with you on it. And I recently created an Instagram account. No, I recently started posting on my Instagram account, more specifically. Please go and follow me in there. See you in the next video. Bye bye!